Hello and welcome to the special weekly show called Diaspora Dimes, which is our salute to over 32 million strong Indian diaspora present in over 200 countries worldwide. I'm Gautam Roy. The show launched the same day, same time earlier this year, around the time the 17th Pravasi Bhartiya convention was held in Madhya Pradesh's Indore city. PBD provides a platform for the overseas Indian community to engage with the government and people of India and share their experiences and insights. It also helps strengthen ties between India and global Indian diaspora and to recognize the achievements and contributions of Indians living abroad. The Pravasi Bhartiya Samman Awards are an integral part of the biennial event and are conferred by the President of India upon members of the Indian diaspora who made exceptional contribution in their chosen fields and have acted as Indian ambassadors in foreign lands. Our guest this week is one such awardee this year. Siddharth Balachandran, recipient Pravasi Bhartiya Samman Award and Executive Chairman and CEO, Bumark Corporation Limited. Welcome to Diaspora Diamond, Siddharth. First of all, congratulations for the award. What were your first thoughts when you heard that you're getting the highest honor that the Indian government can give to an Indian living abroad?
Thank you, Gautam. Very kind words. Truly thankful. I think more than the first thoughts, the first thing that came to my mind was all those people who have sort of helped me in my endeavors till date, because individually I am nothing. It is full credit to every person on my team, in my company, as well as all those philanthropic institutions that I'm associated with, all the people who do the actual hard work there, if I may add. I am merely a symbol of the exemplary efforts of all these people. So the first thought was all of those people, and heartfelt thanks to all of those people who have assisted me in evolving into this person which has got this award.
Great, that's very humble for you. Now, how did your family and friends feel? Were they surprised, or did they feel with a lot of gratitude that this was something which was meant to come your way sooner or later?
It's it would be very remiss of me to say that, but yes, you are right. I think the general sentiment was that it took a long time coming, but I think they may be biased in their feelings.
And this time you're the only one from the GCC, the entire region, or that part of the world.
That is correct. That is correct, yes. So probably that added to such a sentiment, which I personally believe it is not appropriate, but then, yeah, I guess.
Okay. Now, you got the award in the category of Business and Community Welfare in recognition of your contribution in promoting India's honor and prestige in fostering the interest of overseas Indians. So, tell us about your related activities in a little detail.
It's very simple. I have a very simple structure because I like simplification. I don't like complicating things. My primary company is Bumark Corporation Limited. And it is an investment company centered out of Dubai in the financial hub, so to speak, called DIFC, that is Dubai International Financial Center. And from Dubai, it invests into regulated economies such as India, the US, the Eurozone, so regulation is one of our primary criterion to when we select first markets that we invest in, and then subsequently we go through a very stringent set of criterion before we choose the companies that we invest into. And the commonality, the common thread of everything is the transparency and regulation. So we sort of give extra priority to those markets that have a very, very good stringent security system in place.
Okay. And how active is Bumark in building brand India as well, not just in the UAE but in all the GCC countries. What sort of businesses has it invested in India so far? I also saw on your website that your company has the largest holding in the Bombay Stock Exchange.
I'd like to think that we are ambassadors, as the Prime Minister himself mentioned during his speech, Gautam. I think, and it is true, we represent two countries whenever we are termed an expatriate. One is our mother country and one is our workplace, our karma bhumi, if I can say that. So it is a huge responsibility. And Bhumark Corporation Limited and myself are an extension of that sentiment. For example, Bombay Stock Exchange, if you take it as an example, it is a company that is identified with India, with India's economy. For example, when the layman says that India is doing well, they generally mean that the stock exchange is doing well, you know, as a metaphor. So we look at companies that reflect the country and vice versa. And I'd like to believe that India has one of the strongest sort of watchdog agencies in SEBI. It has an extremely strong central bank in Reserve Bank of India. So, you know, it's a sort of virtuous combination of all the aspects that are required for a successful investment and a successful economy. So, Bhumark per se looks at companies that reflect countries, and we make no bones about the fact that we look at successful models of both countries and then the companies. So yes, we'd like to think that we are doing a sort of we're taking a lot of efforts to build brand India.
Okay, great. Now, India is the fifth largest economy in the world as well. It's also the fastest growing large economy worldwide. How is your company capitalizing on India's development and progress and putting that message across to as many people and companies as possible, you know, among other investors as well?
It's very simple, Gautam. I think India is on track. I'm not even talking about the 5 trillion goal that has been set for in the next 3 to 4 years, but I'm talking about the 2033 goal of 10 trillion. I think we're well on our way to achieving that, and the relevant global agencies have also termed us, that is India, the lone bright spot in the world. So I think we're well on our way to getting there. But yes, there are a lot of unseen challenges ahead, which I'm sure we are well on our way to combating. Now, when it comes to taking advantage of the exemplary position that India finds itself in, it's very simple. We, as an Indian citizen, and especially for me, because I've had my formative years in India, I sort of have a little understanding of how our country works and how our economy, what the different aspects of our economy are. And if you combine that with the kind of evolution that we have had over the last 15 to 20 years, that is talking about my company Bhumark, where we have gone through a lot of a huge learning curve as well, and we're still going through it, because I believe that there is no end to learning. So each and every aspect of this learning curve, I think, has brought to the fore the fact that it is just the beginning. And these goals that have been put forward have been backed by significant reform as well. which sort of make it sustainable. So the kind of investments that we do vis-a-vis India are fundamentally driven based on the macroeconomic fundamentals, but also because of the kind of hidden back-end sort of tuning that has been done in terms of the processes, in terms of the documentation. So yes, I think it's just the beginning for India.
Okay. And now, without talking about the budget, India has been on a journey of reforms for quite some time. You can track it back to 91, or if you take from 2014 onwards, there have been very big ticket steps that have been taken. Major policy decisions have been made, be it GST or be it the IBC or even the reduction of the corporate tax. Now, what do you think has been the most significant step, and what do you think will really further put India on the map as far as global investors are concerned?
No doubt about it. I think a combination of all. But I think on a priority, I think the GST has, I think, sort of set the tone for fundamentals to strengthen. The taxation tweaks that have been done as well have been quite significant. But overall, I think the sort of emphasis on follow-up. So whenever there is this, what I've noticed in the last so many years is that whenever there's an initiative, there is a quick follow-up with the actual tangible steps being taken.
Yes.
Which I think it's a revelation, and it's a game changer.
Certainly, the implementation and the tracking of things
yes,
and emphasis on
I
outcomes.
think the execution has been top notch.
Wonderful.
Rather than the conceptualization has always been very good, but I think slight change, probably what I would see is the execution. I think that has become extremely good.
And that you credit to the governance.
Yes, the governance and the bureaucracy. I think the policy makers can only do so much if the mechanism of percolating it down to the grassroots doesn't happen. So I think it's a huge, it's a good combination, and I find it very fascinating to see.
And the other thing that is talked about a lot in the case of India is the digitalization revolution that has been unfolding, and the kind of benefits that will be accrued to the Indian economy and the Indian people because of that. We've seen a lot of that unfolding through the course of the pandemic as well. It accelerated everything. But where do you think this is going to take India?
Oh, it is a revolution. I have witnessed this. I do not profess to be tech savvy at all, but I have seen wonders in India, where I go back to my home state of Kerala, and the person who sells coconut water on the roads use electronic Google Pay or Paytm, the different modes of payment that are available, and I find that so it is a revolution. I can't find any other way. It is magic, yes, and I can't find any other word to describe it. And what I feel where this will lead to, I think this is why I said that though a lot of people are talking about 10 trillion being unachievable, I think this is one of the main reasons why I say that we will achieve it with a year to spare.
Certainly. And of course, when we're talking about digitalization, I wanted to ask you, does your company also invest in Indian startups, which have been surging not just in numbers over the last few years, but in growth, providing employment and in valuations, with the century mark being crossed among unicorns last year itself?
Yes. So we don't invest directly into startups. But we are not that we haven't, we don't do it, but we haven't got an opportunity to, because we are, one of our primary priorities when it comes to investment is age and, a sort of experience in what
Okay, you
they
look at
do.
mature businesses.
Mature businesses, and I think entry barrier. You look at businesses that have high entry barriers. However, it's good that you brought that up because I am a person who believes sort of unequivocally on the Indian startup ecosystem, and we are in a few talks with a few states. It's too early for me to comment, where there may be something that is in the offing. But
Oh,
it is just because we haven't gotten in does not mean that I do not believe. I have extreme belief, and I think, like I said, it's we're just scratching at the surface.
okay.
There's a long way to go in the building of India's ecosystem, and you're talking about 10 to 12 to 15 unicorns. I think the prospect is probably 150 to 200.
Okay,
So
wonderful.
there's a lot of time.
Yeah, for a moment I thought that you're giving me some juicy bit of new information, but
No, no, no.
it's not mature yet. Let's just say that
But
at the moment.
I will let you know
Okay,
soon.
okay, okay. Tell us a bit more about your own entrepreneurial journey. You know, how have you evolved through it? I believe you founded Vumerk in 2008. How did that happen, and how are things now?
So it was, like I said, I was lucky, very fortunate to be in to be an Indian in Dubai, and at the right time, which was I think if you must be aware of it, Dubai and the world I think went through an unprecedented boom from 2003 to 2007 odd, and I was very lucky to have been part of the Dubai economic ecosystem during that time.
Mm-hmm.
And so my first venture was at a building material trading company in Dubai. And why? Well, it's very simple. It was I didn't think of anything else to do because there was so much construction going on
Yes, it was building
in the
up.
world and in Dubai that you sort of felt pressure if you didn't do it. So I think so. 2003 is
FOMO
2004 is when I
factor.
started the company, and by 2008 I think we had made strides which generally people and companies make in 20 years. That was what Dubai was at that time. I think and then there was a subsequent sort of bad face.
Yeah, 2008 when Vumerk started. That's when everything went
Yes,
south.
yes. But you know, the difference here was that I was very fortunate that I think my sort of Indian uh, checks and balances. You know, us being Indian, we always sort of check ourselves, right? So I think that sort of quality when things were going through the roof, there was something in me that said that okay, fine, let's take a breather.
Hmm.
And I think circa 2007 November, I remember calling my team and saying, "Listen, let's just do a detox. So let's collect everything that we are owed
Mm-hmm.
and give it a few months, and then we can restart." And coincidentally, I think there was somebody upstairs who was looking after me. I think by April or May, we were debt free and we were sitting on a lot of cash because
Great.
we had sort of exited everything.
Mm-hmm.
And just before we restarted, the collapse happened.
Okay.
So so 2008 was a year which was just quite terrible for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I think God was so kind that asset values had come down drastically,
Yes.
and I was sitting on cash. So there
So
was
you went
no
shopping.
intelligence needed for doing. So then, yeah, then I was always very keen on uh, starting an investment firm, so sort of institutionalize my individual self. That was something that was very strong in me right from my working days when I was working as an employee for a company called Dun and Bradstreet early on in my career. So I was always very keen on not doing wealth building on in my individual name. I always wanted to sort of create an institution. So I think that concept of institution building was quite strong in me. So then in 2008, Bima Corporation Limited started with the seed capital that had already accrued with my trading business.
Okay.
And yes, and then it was God's. So I had nothing to. I think somebody put a lot of ideas into my head at the right time, at the right place.
Wonderful. And what can you tell us about your activities related to community welfare? I believe you're head or are part of several non-governmental organizations and societies backing a wide range of causes, both in India and the UAE, apart from promoting, business as well.
Right. So I have a very simple philosophy, Gautam. I think you have two aspects to life. One is wealth creation, and the other is wealth distribution. Now, for me, both of these are have to go hand in hand. Otherwise, each of the other is not sustainable. So, if you create wealth, then you have to create a mechanism to distribute. Only then does the loop sort of get complete. This is something that I've believed in right from the beginning. So when I created Bima Corporation Limited, it was only natural that I also up my philanthropic arm and sort of ensure that matches the kind of wealth creation that I was endeavoring to take. And so I have a very simple philosophy when it comes to philanthropy. I think there is no specific sector or specific cause as such. I am I'm a citizen of the world, and I'm part of the world society. So it is I'm not doing any favors to. I'm not doing a big thing by sort of creating a mechanism to distribute wealth. All I'm doing is fulfilling my existence, the purpose of my existence. So the only thing I have in mind before any associating with any philanthropic institution or doing anything that is termed as charity is that whether it creates a positive impact on society.
Great.
So it's a very simple question, and generally the answer is also very simple.
Great.
So any cause that matches this line, this or answers this question, I gladly and wholeheartedly and unconditionally participate. I think unconditionally is also a very strong term.
Wonderful. Now, the Indian diaspora in the UAE is the largest in the world and comprises around 30% of the UAE's population. What can you tell us about its contribution to their, adopted country, as it's quite multifaceted and valuable too?
It is quite intense. I think the connection that especially the UAE expatriates have with the United Arab Emirates and all 7 Emirates is one of an extended family. So when the Indian citizen or an Indian NRI is in the UAE, they assimilate into society at the most micro level. Whether it is creating an association to help the fellow community members, whether it is associating with the local populace in any sort of community elevation, societal elevation efforts, the Indian community, I think, is at the forefront. It's one thing that I find very fascinating and very endearing is that there is no differentiation between the origin of any person when the Indian community in the UAE helps people. And that's probably why the local government also holds the Indian community in such high esteem. And yeah, so
Okay. Now, before we let you go, tell us about the experience of attending the Pravasi Bhartiya Samman convention in Indore. I'm sure you must also be coming to India every now and then. What are the impressions that you've taken back from your latest visit about the country's progress and development?
Two words that resonated in me when I checked into my hotel in Indore was love and respect. You know, we as NRIs, we miss our country, so the feeling of love and respect for our motherland is always there. But getting it back, and that too so palpably, and I'm not talking about people who were the organizers at the event. I'm talking about the taxi driver who took me from the hotel to the event. I'm talking about the stewards and stewardesses who served food at my hotel. So you know, and then the general. So I had to walk a little because the crowd. There were different barriers because of the security arrangements. And when you walk across, because they see, and not even because I was an awardee, when they just see the what do you call, the pass, so around your neck, they come and introduce themselves to you and say, "Welcome to Indore." So it had percolated deep into each and every person in the whole city. And I think in a nutshell, that is what India is becoming. Welcoming and confident about their ability to compete on a world stage. So, you know, you can welcome people, but if you're not confident about yourself, it's very difficult to sort of equate themselves and, you know, welcome people with impunity. But I think India is slowly getting that confidence that as a populace, we are the future.
Great.
And earlier people were saying that, but I don't think the populace was actually believing it. Now, I think slowly they are believing it, and I think it's a very, very rosy picture. And very.
I'm glad that you felt most welcomed back home, and I'm sure these occasions will be many more in the future as well, and more honors will be bestowed upon you too, as you will keep doing better and better, as is our community there in the UAE as well. Thank you so much for joining us and talking about it today.
Thank you, Gautam. Pleasure.
Well, that was another edition of Diaspora Diamonds, and that's all we have for the moment in this edition of the show. But for all the latest, keep watching DD India.